Nice to meet you again.
How are you? Is it
How are you?
if you would please tell them your name and where you are right now?
My name is Rosa, and I'm in Salerno, that is at the entrance of the Amalfi Coast,
Yes.
very close to Naples in Campania region.
So I guess you're excited that that tourists are coming back.
Yes, absolutely. We are very happy to welcome again tourists because we spent the last season without tourists, and so now we are. I miss you. I want to guide. I want to work. For me, my job, it's a kind of it's a passion. First of all, I love to share the passion for this place. I was born here, and I agree with you. This is a kind of dream.
Oh, it is.
We call the time spent here dolce vita, sweet life. This means exactly to slow down, enjoy life, not be in a hurry in any way, and enjoy the small things and the view. Because everywhere you go on the Amalfi Coast, you have a spectacular view that make you dream. So even for me, that I was born here, it's every day different, and it's a kind of dream for me as well. So I'm very proud to share my knowledge and my passion with people coming here for special tours because I'm a walking and hiking guide. I'm not a classical touristic guide because I prefer to walk. This, I think, is the best way to discover the coast, the most relaxing way.
Sure, absolutely. So
Yes, we have. Imagine that the Amalfi Coast. On the Amalfi Coast, we have only one coastal road that is quite narrow, and it's very challenging to drive on this coastal road, especially even for me. And
sure.
so, the best way is to use the connecting path between villages that were once the only way to reach a place from the coast to inland or from the inland to the coast. So you mentioned the Path of the Gods. The Path of the Gods is an hike listed as one of the 10 most beautiful hikes in Europe, starting from 600 meters above the sea level from a small village called Agerola and going up to Positano, up to the sea level. And you have a spectacular view of the Amalfi coastline up to the island of Capri. And the name is the Path of the Gods. You can imagine why.
Yes.
Because the local people think that the gods should live there because of the extreme beauty of that place. But the Path of the Gods is not the only one, the only hike. We have several hikes, very, very nice, I would say wonderful, not so very nice, not only nice. And for example, we have the Mills Valley, that is a valley above Amalfi. You cannot imagine the landscape. It's impressive there because you don't expect to find that kind of landscape on the Amalfi Coast. It's a kind of rainforest with the beautiful waterfalls, huge waterfalls, and in what I call a kind of garden, a kind of special garden inside the mountains. So it's quite spectacular, and it's one of the hikes that I really suggest to people to do. During this hike, you can find also agriturismo, so a kind of farm, family farm, where you can sit and have a very nice meal based on local and seasonal food. And these add a lot of value to this experience. So as I'm a local guide, I like to give people the best that we have. So
Sure.
I think that when you come here, you should be a traveler, not a tourist. That's my idea. So when people, friends come and visit me, I want to share the best. And so that's my idea. This is my idea of visiting the Amalfi Coast.
But when you meet people that are locals, it changes everything. It's such a different experience. And just kind of explain to them what would be a typical meal, the
Yeah,
different courses, and what you do in your part of Italy food
sure.
wise. Hmm.
Yeah, we actually have a very big meal. Can you hear the bell
I
of the ship?
can. I love it. I love it.
And well, Our meal are very, very big, even if the ingredients we use are very simple. So you don't feel very heavy at the end of the meal, even if you eat all the courses. You don't have to be scared about the meals. Of course, we have pasta in each meal. That is, but you can choose to have only a second course. But basically, we have an antipasto. Antipasto is based on vegetables, cheese, and salami and prosciutto, something like that. It's a mix of all these things. Some fried vegetables as well, something very typical. Then we have the first course that for us is pasta all the time. Pasta with seafood, with clams, with mussels, based on fish a lot. Yes, and with the cherry tomatoes, something very easy but very tasty. Then we have a second course that here for us is mainly fish because we have like sea bass, anchovies, octopus, fried small fishes, and also some very very typical and local fish that we call the pesce azzurro, like blue fish, that is very local and there is no translation in English because it's very very local. And the way to cook it is mostly fried. We love to fry a lot, or cooked in the oven with the potatoes.
Yes.
Easily, or in a pan with some cherry tomatoes. And then we have a side course that is a salad or vegetables, grilled vegetables or fried vegetables, parmigiana, zucchini, eggplant parmigiana, and zucchini parmigiana. And then we have a dessert, of course, that is the most part of the time with something with lemons, because we have many lemons here, a special kind of lemon. And so, for example, lemon sorbet or lemon ice cream, or a typical pastry is a sponge cake filled with the lemon cream. The name is lemon delice. And or the classical sfogliatella, that is a crunchy pastry filled with ricotta cheese and lemon peel. And at the end, of course, we have a limoncello. That is what
right.
drink
Yes.
together with a dessert. A coffee, and well, that's our meal.
Wonderful. I know the first time I went, and it was funny because when they brought out the pasta, we thought that was the meal. There was so much of it, and here a lot of times that is the entree, the main meal. And then, of course, they did the salad after the main course, which was different. And they said that was for digesting, I think, everything. And then the after dinner drinks, the limoncello. I know you said that mine turned out great, by the way. It's so good. So good. And my family agrees. But I know you said that it's because even the lemons come from the gods, and it's like paradise because you guys just can eat them, just as they are. I mean, here they would be very, that wouldn't work here with our lemons, but yeah.
Yeah, we have a special quality of lemons here. The name is sfusato amalfitano. That means that it's a specific quality of lemon growing only in Amalfi, with a very long shape, and it's quite sweet comparing with other lemons. So that's why we eat the lemons like another kind of fruit. I have an example here of the kind of lemons we have, and with a very thick white part, and it's quite sweet. So that's why we cut into slices and we can put into an aperitif and then eat like it is, like another kind of fruit. And yes, we use lemons for everything. We cook with lemons, we make drinks, aperitivo, we make beauty treatments because we have a huge production of lemons. That's the reason why. Well, our families are very close and attached, so we have a strong feeling of community in general and a strong feeling of attachment with the family, and also with our roots, not only with the family.
Sure.
So if we can, we try to stay here because even it's a place, especially the south of Italy, that for some reason it's it's difficult because it's plenty of contradiction. So it's quite difficult to find a job not related with the tourism, because the tourism for us is a main income. And so if you want to do something different, you have to move in another town. This is what people do in case they study something different from tourism. And so they move and they go to the north of Italy, but they still try to come back, and they are in doubt all the time to come and do something different. And also you have to think that there are many people with the properties, and they family properties, and they start a business with these properties, starting a bed and breakfast, an hotel, or a restaurant, an own business. And so they try to stay here and continue living here, because the quality of our life is very high. We have good food, good air, we have nature all around us, and so I can understand that these play a role in choosing this place to continue to live here.
Yeah, I do think Capri is so worth going there. I loved doing that as well. It can be crowded because it's small, but
Yeah.
I love the sandals there. And I know a lot of people, a lot of, celebrities go there and shop. You might see who knows who there. Yeah, but
And in Capri, my suggestion is, if you can spend the 2 days, at least 2 days in Capri, because the most part of people come for daily tours in Capri, so during the day, and it's very crowded during the day. But starting from the afternoon to the evening, it's very enjoyable, and it changes completely. So if you can spend at least one night in Capri. And also in Capri, if you go in, Capri is made of two big towns, big, not like you can imagine, bigger, but quite small as well, Capri and Anacapri. And if you are in the center of these towns, of course, it's very crowded with many shops, beautiful sandals or cloth. But if you go out of the center, there are several walking tours, again, nice, and all paved. So you are not into the wild, but you are still inside Capri on paved path. But you can reach beautiful views, amazing views, and out of the crowded places. For example, the way to the Blue Grotto, not the way to the Blue Grotto. It's one of the hikes that you can do, and it's you can continue from the Blue Grotto on a path called the Fortini hike. Fortini, like the fortress hike, because there are two fortresses along the path, and it's very wide and it's spectacular. Or the natural arch. There is a very nice path going to a natural arch, and if you look through the natural arch, you see this blue water, sea water. It's pretty spectacular, and it's quite easy to reach this place, not very hard to do that, and it's out of the crowd.
Yeah, I didn't think about hiking, because when we went, we were on a boat and we came in by the water, but that would be really amazing to hike down there. Yeah.
There is also a kind of chairlift going up to the Monte Solaro, the highest mountain of Capri, and you can also walk there if you want, and there is a spectacular view from there as well, a nice cafe where you can drink a wine and enjoy the view. So there are several places where you can go in Capri. Visit also the villas in Capri, because many people from the north of Europe in the past, I'm talking about between the end of the 19th century and the first 20th century, there were many people coming and living here. So they bought villas, they restored the villas, and there are several examples of beautiful villas, like Villa San Michele, that is in Anacapri. It's very spectacular. You can go and visit this villa and dream a lot because of the beauty. The beauty is a big inspiration, and so that's why many writers, poets came here in the past to take inspiration from this beauty around. So something that really gives a value the beauty. Italians are focused on beauty.
Yes, and that's what I love. and it's understandable because you're surrounded by it. You know, a lot of people that have talked to me on this show, they've changed sometimes occupations, not just where they live, but maybe they weren't happy. I know a friend of mine in Spain was that way. She was doing HR and had a big power job in Madrid, and she just wasn't happy. And she's actually a tour guide on the Camino de Santiago. So tell them a little bit about what did you study, and then what happened with that.
Yes. Well, I studied information technologies at the university, and when I finished my study, when I was graduated, I started to teach information technologies to adults, so people who wants to learn how to use a computer, and that was something that I loved to do because I was in relation with people. Then I decided that working on a computer all the time in a company was not the best for me because I was isolated and not in relation with people. So at a certain moment, I decided to follow my passion. As I love to walk and stay in the nature since I was 12, I started to walk above these mountains. So, and I'm passionate about the national parks, and I work with some national parks as a volunteer. I decided to become a guide, first of the Vesuvius National Park and then on the Amalfi Coast. So I took a class and I studied to become a guide. And so I would definitely do the same again. I was sad because I studied 5 years information technologies, but then you cannot continue doing something that you don't like for an entire life.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm proud to have been brave to change my life because I'm very happy now about what I do.